Hey everyone, this is LuckySevenDX. Welcome back to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Hippowdon, also known as Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia. On the last episode, we explored the desert, saved the village, and made it to Hippowdon Temple. In this episode, we go all Indiana Jones up in this, and we explore the Hippowdon Temple, get the yellow gem, wonder what the heck's up with Keith because he's being weird, so on and so forth. I really like the penta formation that we. Oh, now it's ruined. Way to go, Skuntank. Way to not fit in. Of course, it would be you. Anyways, welcome to our mission. Get the yellow gem, the Hippowdon Temple. A very interesting place compared to the other places we found the gems. This is a lot more puzzle-based, kind of. It's supposed to like catching Pokemon-based puzzles, and more like walking-based puzzles. You'll see what I mean. Anyway, this is Keith, not calling himself Keith anymore, at least. But he's still extremely weird, so even our mute protagonist is just like, what the heck's going on here, man? This is Golem. He will try to charge you and do lots of damage, and also hit you in the sand, which will knock you back. I'll demonstrate this at some point just for funsies. Also, it's a slow rock-type Pokemon, so double charge it. You should be able to get quite a few circles in. He'll do rocks at a diagonal formation, so as long as you're above him when that happens, you will not be taking any damage because you'll be in a safe spot. So, easy pickings with the double charge. Like I said, double charge the slow things, single charge the fast things. Seems to work out the best, in my opinion. I guess it's just kind of the winning tactic of this game. My assessment says so. So Golem, as I said, will charge you if it sees you. Golem, hi buddy. Okay, well we'll let this one charge us. Or he'll hit. Did he really just hit the corner? There we go. So he has a lot of knockback, does 6 damage, and if you fall into the sand, you'll get sent back to the beginning. So in other words, don't get hit by golems. They will. One golem really likes to bash his head against the corner. Basically, they'll send you to the sand. Sand will send you back to the beginning. There's not much you can do. I mean, you can move left and right while you're in the sand, but you'll get moved backwards. And in general, you'll probably, because you're stunned from the hit, you'll probably make it back to the beginning. Not that it's a big deal for this segment, but it's introduction mechanics. Sand take you back. Be careful with the sand. So, also, Keith's partner Pokemon, Weasel's here, being all alone. So what happened to Keith? Weasel's been separated from him. He's acting strangely. Clearly, something's up here. So we'll figure this out. I just try to say find and figure pretty much the same time. Anyway, this is Ariados. It leaves sticky webs around, which is really annoying, but if it's positioned well and you have a double charge, you can take care of it pretty well. I recommend double charge because you want to try to get it in one go, just because he doesn't do any any sort of projectile attacks. He leaves traps around, so as long as you're careful to avoid them, you'll be pretty good to go. By the way, something to note, Golem was a Crush 4, which means Pro Pass is not really needed anymore because it can be replaced by Golem, which you can easily get in Hippowdon Temple. It's right at the very beginning of it. So if you go near these Bronzor, they will fall off the wall, if they see you, they'll come towards you. We'll go ahead and grab the last one here just for browser's sake, but we don't really need them. They're just kind of there on the wall. They'll just pop out if you go near them. It's just kind of a thing they do. This Pokemon's one of those ones that teleports and vanishes everywhere, so just another good Pokemon for a double charge because it's based more around teleportation. You want to try to get it in one go and not let it teleport again. So, double charge is good for a variety of situations. If they're hazard-based Pokemon, if they're teleportation-based Pokemon, if they're really slow but bulky Pokemon, it works. Fast, projectile-based Pokemon, though, is definitely better to use a single charge. So yeah, Golem is a Crush 4, but we have Pro Pass for that. I don't really need anything here, so we're going to ditch these 3, and we'll go from there. There's not really many Pokemon you need in terms of clearing obstacles in this dungeon, which I mean, once again, I use the term dungeon really loosely, but there's not really much that we have to deal with here. There's some Scorpy here, not really anything we have to deal with. It's actually a dead-end room. There is a reason this room is here, though. By the way, Magneton there if you need to heal. And the reason is we're now in another sand room, which once again will take us back to the start. But this sand room also has pits you can fall in. And if you fall in the pit, you'll end up back in the room with the Scorpy, because I guess despite the fact that we're heading north clearly, I guess it's implied that we head upstairs here instead, even though we clearly don't. I don't know how it works. But basically, instead of Golem hitting us back, we have dangerous little sand blob things that will send you back a little bit and deal a decent amount of damage as well. I'll let myself get hit by a 1 here just to demonstrate, and then hopefully avoid all the rest of them here. So, oh wow, that really has some knockback. So 3 damage, not 4, but it will knock you back pretty far. So you'll probably get knocked into a pit. So essentially avoid them if you don't want to restart the entire room. So that's kind of the puzzles we have to deal with. It's a lot of dodging obstacles, maneuvering this sort of walkway. I mean, we've seen some stuff like that before, like in Almia Castle and whatnot, but Hippowdon Temple definitely has a lot more of it, so just be quick. This one's the tricky one. You want to let that thing end and then quickly get out of the way here. What you want to do here is you don't want to head to the left. The left's a dead end. You want to head to the... Really? Really? That counted as the pit, not on the sand. Okay, game. I'll play along if you're... Alright, once more, with feeling. Gotta go fast. Gotta avoid all the sand. Gotta avoid all the pits. Gotta avoid all the everything. This is just obnoxious. Alright. That was really slow, I just noticed. Anyway, wait for this one to go, move. Alright, so we want to head down to the right. As you can see, if we head to the left, there's really nowhere for us to go. Probably shouldn't have stood there. That wasn't safe, after all. Okay, let's do this once more with feeling. Ow. Well, that was awkward, but worked. I'm gonna let this thing shoot, and then we're gonna go hide in this little corner, head up here. Oh, that was a little too close for comfort, but that worked. And we should be making it past here, and we do. So, sand cannonball room avoided. Ariados is not a Pokemon we need anymore. Bronzor is not a Pokemon we need anymore, so let's avoid all these guys and move forward. Bronzong is something we need, though, except he kind of ran away. There you are. Bronzong, buddy, I love you. Hi. So, yeah, the temple is definitely based around a lot of puzzles, but they're not too terrible. They're more just kind of a learn the pattern. They're just kind of annoying and silly. But eventually, dang it, I knew that was going to happen. Alright, throw your shocky balls everywhere. See if I care. They really like to teleport right on your line, so you really should try to not have a line up when that's happening. Alright, let's get a lot of damage in here. There we go. Once again, I still think the double charge is best because you have so much downtime with teleport Pokemon, but still. So, Bronzong captured. Life is good. Get ourselves an A. We're getting closer to a level up, that's always nice. There's some text on the ground here you can read, but they're illegible. So, I guess, sad day for us, we're not allowed to read them. And we have a Drifblim, so we have to actually use the Drifblim to ascend. Why they make us do this is just obnoxious, but whatever. It's sure a good thing that Drifblim live pretty much freaking everywhere, or we would just be in a whole lot of trouble. But luckily for us, we're not. Anyway, next puzzle room up ahead. So yeah, this is just basically a bunch of puzzle rooms like the one we just saw. Well, they're not all like the one. This one's gonna be a bit different, but Drifblim elevate, bring us to the next floor. Let's see what other craziness we have to deal with. So we're up a floor now for sure this time, even though it feels like we're ascending, but we're ascending, but we're not. The layout of this dungeon's a little weird to think about. Anyway, we hear Buizel again. Keith's Buizel's here, and he's down there showing us that the exit that we want to head to continue onward is that way. So thank you, Buizel, for showing that off, but we actually want to head to the other exit first because we're going to need a Pokemon there. So basically, we're in Springy Leaf Land, where sometimes you gotta spring. Actually, is there one over here as well? There's a Victory Bell over here, but we already have that Pokemon, as you can see. We caught that one in the Team Dim Sum hideout in an oil field, so we don't need that. But it's here if you ever need to catch another one for some strange reason. Anyway, so I know there's some place of spring races, which is why I'm double checking, because sometimes we're going to want to head on, like, for example, we could head to the close one, but we actually want to head to this one first, because it sends us up here, and that'll allow us to capture the Sandslash in here, which we actually need for its ability. So one of the very few Pokemon we actually need for an ability in this area, and all the ones that we need for ability, which just tend to be just in the side rooms in the same area of the puzzle. It's not, I don't know, for some reason, it's not like, you know, oh, we need to make sure we have some Pelipper with us or we're gonna get stuck. Or we need to make sure we have this Pokemon to go over here and do this. It's more just like, okay, there's a puzzle, there's a thing blocking us, let's get the Pokemon in a room nearby. So, it's not as Pokemon focused as other areas have been, is what I've been trying to say, basically. It's not really a find the Pokemon puzzle, it's a just do the puzzle thing. Makes no sense the way I say it, but whatever. So we head over here. The reason we need the Sandslash is because this is a thing that needs to be tunneled. So we will tunnel it. It won't take us anywhere new. It actually will just give us a Springy Grass here, which, as you can imagine, the Springy Grass is the one we need to move on. This one actually just takes us backwards a bit. So that Springy Grass actually just backtracks us a bit, but luckily it's pretty quick to get back. But we needed the Sandslash because it's the one that takes us to the exit here. In case you're wondering, this Springy Grass, oh my god, I can't even say that word properly, takes us back to the beginning. So if you ever need to backtrack for some reason, that's the way you go. Otherwise, the general rule of thumb is just go to the closest Springy Grass to proceed until you get to this one, in which case you need to go to the one little lower right corner, and that will take you to the end. So, not really a difficult puzzle, but hey, it's good to see Springy Grass have a return here. Anyway, we got some new Pokemon here, some Claydols and a Gengar. And oh my god, these Claydols are everywhere and they want my body. Okay, let's be careful about this. Alright, so Claydol's another teleporting Pokemon. We'll go ahead and get a charge up here. Except it teleports a lot. It's kind of obnoxious. Alright, where are you going? You're gonna do a thing. It was definitely gonna do, I think it does a shockwave with that move, so capture it quickly. Like I said, double charge is really good against any Pokemon that has teleport. It gives you the downtime to use a double charge, which is nice. Anyway, I know there's other Claydol trying to attack me, so run. Where's that Gengar? I want to capture a Gengar. There's the okay, hi Claydol. Guess we're gonna capture you again as well, just for funsies. Alright, well, if you insist, Mr. Claydol, I will be happy to oblige you. Alright, you're probably gonna do your... Oh no, he broke our thing. Well, I guess we gotta see what he does this time, so... Yep, it's a shockwave. I was correct for once! Huzzah! So he's gonna teleport, he's gonna fire beams now, which I'm not gonna be able to dodge. We'll go for just a single... No, we can get a double charge here. Or not, because he will teleport right onto my one little point there. Well, that's just obnoxious. Alright, get the double charge going here. Don't aim at me. No way I can dodge that. Okay. Let's try to just get... Don't hit me, thank you. Okay, this should give us the ample opportunity to capture him now, so there we go. Well, that was a fairly lengthy detour, but as you can see, Claydols can be actually kind of tough to capture. By the way, we leveled up at one point, I didn't even notice, so that's a thing. Hate you, and hate you. You all three can go away. Huzzah. Anyway, don't tell me this is another Claydol. I will cry. Jesus Christ, Claydol, you're so... Okay, the way you want to handle this room, by the way, is you want to actually enter from this... Nope, not dodging that one. And you're breaking my line. You know, I could just run away. There's really no reason for me to face this. I just don't like to run away from battles. I don't know. This is just taking way too much time, though, just for stupid stuff. Alright, you. Get over here. Alright, he's not aimed at me. This is ample opportunity to capture him right here. You are mine, Claydol. Don't even care. Don't... Oh, of course, you're in a place I can't even get you. Just maximum rude right there. Maximum rude. Also, has he done the blue electric balls thing before? I don't even know. But apparently, I don't know. So, Claydol, again, has been captured. Can we move on finally? Is the fourth one gonna come bother us now? Pro tip, don't run the center of that room. It will end in disaster. Anyway, Gengar, finally gonna capture you now. I think this is the one opportunity in the game you get to get a Gengar. But it's actually kind of annoying because it uses the fire of death that I hate so much. And he actually summons two of them. So luckily it runs out pretty quickly so you don't have to deal with two of them for too long. Except he likes to summon the two of them a lot. Except then eventually he does one of the ones that, he does that instead. So he doesn't always summon the blue fire, or the fire of death, which is definitely my least favorite attack to deal with in the game, in case you guys haven't noticed, but... Anyway, this will give us ample opportunity to capture him before he summons the next fire. Once again, against teleport Pokemon, your double charge is the way to go. Can we be done with this room already? It's been quite a nuisance. Thank you. Come again. I'm just gonna backtrack a bit just to show you how to actually deal with this room, because I handled this extremely poorly. The way you want to handle the Claydol here, if you want to just capture one, is don't walk in the middle of the room, because it'll proc all of them. Just walk to the side, you can capture that one if you want to, or you can just kind of, you know, run around the side this way and avoid them. If you proc all four of them, you're probably going to get ambushed by all four of them. Also, we're on the Hippowdon's nostrils now. And this is where things get confusing. So we're clearly on top of the temple, and yet we clearly seem to be ascending more because you notice the pit by the engravings a long way back, and there was a pit in the room with the springy grass. Those pits will actually be relevant at some point. Oh, I forgot about this puzzle. Okay, now we have a puzzle of disappearing blocks. Oh joy. By the way, you can fall in this room. In case you're wondering, you end up back in the middle of all the Claydol, and you're like, oh crap, because they all proc, so just run south immediately, and you will be a-okay. So, Magneton there if you need to heal for some reason, but I don't. You have to go through the nostrils again. Just kind of a really weird temple design. And I'm not sure how it works physically, because like I said, those pits that we saw before actually are needed at some point, but we'll deal with that when we get there. For now, we have basically disappearing blockland. So what you want to do is essentially just take this one step at a time. As the blocks disappear, you want to make sure you don't end up in the pit, basically. So be careful that you don't do anything stupid. Oh wow, that actually worked. I was like, I'm just gonna gun it and see if it works out, and it actually kind of did. Sweet. All right, let's see if we can figure this one out. I think we just kind of, once again, just follow the path one by one here. Make it all the way over here. Make sure you go all the way across, so you'll actually get stuck. So that's the trick there. You want to make sure you gun it. You don't want to go one at a time all the time. But anyway, we're actually already fairly close to being done with this area. I just noticed it's actually fairly short. It's a lot shorter than I thought it was, so that's interesting. But we now have, of every Pokemon game's puzzle, the usual movie block things where you have to pick the right path, end up in the right spot, or who knows where you'll end up. You'll end up with a Gabite in your face. Gabite, new Pokemon we haven't seen yet, so we'll go ahead and capture one here. A nice little dragon type for us to have if we want to. It is a fast Pokemon that, yeah, this is definitely a single charge based Pokemon, I think. It attacks fast and it moves fast, so generally you want to keep up the tempo by just going for single charge. And it doesn't have that much health, so yeah, that's definitely a just charge once Pokemon, I think. I think so. Anyway, don't need you, and don't need you. Well, Gengar's kind of cool though. I'm gonna keep the Gengar just for one reason, and I don't really need any of the other Pokemon around here anyway. I just need one specific Pokemon, and I have one slot open, so that should work out anyway. So anyway, that's a dead end. It'll take you back to the beginning. This one will just take you back to the area with the Gabite, which is also a dead end. This will take you down here, which will take you back to the beginning. So lots of dead ends, as you can see. The path that we want to take, though, is the one that leads us into the middle. And then from there, we have a choice to head up here and get the thing over here, but now we're also stuck heading back to our previous area, so most of the paths will just lead you astray, but there's some new Pokemon to get along the way, so it's kind of worth it. Banette's a little annoying just because it has it has 4 fires circling it. Just make sure you give it a wide berth and you should be a-okay. We get ourselves the Banette, get ourselves some nice capturing, get ourselves more experience, getting closer and closer to a level up, which is always nice. As you can see, the only way out is through here, which will just take us back to the center, which actually isn't that bad. As you can see, this is just going to lead us back to this area. We don't want to go there. We want to head this way. This will lead us to the right, which is actually where we want to go. Up here just kind of leads us to a path that actually can lead to this room. Okay, good. That actually works out really nicely, because we actually want to head to this room. So, I actually didn't realize there's a second path to get to that room, because you can actually get to that room from the original exit that Weasel went into, and end up in this area, which is cool that we can do it now, because basically we can get this Tyranitar now, and Tyranitar is actually a Pokemon we need to capture. Well, we don't need to capture, because you can also, basically it's a source of Crush 4. We need a Crush 4 soon, so we can use our Probopass. We can also use Golem, if we had it from the very beginning. Watch out for these falling rocks, watch out for its Hyper Beam, watch out for its Dark Pulses, you'll be a-okay. It's not a terribly tough Pokemon, it just likes to drop rocks everywhere, and avoid those, and then it's a slow Pokemon with a lot of health. Double Charge Capture 2 is the way to go. Dark type Assist with a 4 Crush. I like Tyranitar, but I like Probopass better, so I'm just going to waste the Tyranitar on the upcoming 4 Crush and go from there. So we don't need Banette. We'll keep the Gengar though, just because I like Gengar, so whatever. We'll keep him. So now we have the I didn't realize there was an extra way, a secondary way to get up here to the Tyranitar. That's actually kind of cool. So you can head on this thing, it'll just take us all the way back to the beginning. The other one will just take us to the area of the Gabite, which also forces us back to the beginning. So in the end, there's no way to get the Tyranitar and not have to end up back to where we started. So we've explored the area up here. This whole thing over here just leads us down to the left here. The other one would just lead us up back where we started. And then the other place we want to go, basically any path here will just kind of lead us, you know, over here. We'll have to just kind of zoom around again. So the trick to this puzzle is the place you want to go is this one specific thing here, because you can see it snakes up all the way up here to where the exit is. That being said, we actually want to quickly head this way, get ambushed by a Gabite because he's just rude and ungrateful. Jerk. But then there's actually another room over to the southeast there. We want to quickly head to that, because if we head to that, we'll actually have a new Pokemon that we haven't captured yet there. We'll grab him before we head to where the Bellossom was, which is actually getting us fairly close to the end of the area. So this actually was not nearly as lengthy as I thought it was going to be, but we'll still have, you know, our Gem Guardian to face, and you know it's never going to be that easy, so we'll go ahead and deal with things as they come, but this area is still nowhere near over. It's still probably going to be split into 2 videos, I imagine. So we head over to this direction, and our Pokemon is an Espeon. So we've seen, I think, every single one of the Eevee forms that was not introduced in 4th Gen, because those ones you don't get until post-game. So we've seen Espeon, we've seen Flareon, we've seen Vaporeon, we've seen Umbreon, we've seen Jolteon now. So we now know where to get all 5 of those. Alright, you're a bit of a tricky Pokemon for projectiles and your spinny balls of death. And your electric balls of death. What's with Psychic Pokemon? Just balls of death! Just the realm of balls of... Nope, there's no way I'm dodging that. It's way too wide of a spread there. Alright, we'll double charge here, try to get some capture. Nope, okay. Espeon's a bit of a trick. We need to find a good opportunity to attack, and a double charge isn't working out very well, so we're gonna go with the single charge method instead. Seems to probably be... Oh! Barely dodged that, yeah. It doesn't have enough health to need a double charge. A single charge will do just fine. That seems like the better tactic, actually. So, we get ourselves a teleport, which we don't really need considering we want to head forward, not backwards, so it'll be the Pokemon we release here, and we'll go from there. So, we got all the Pokemon we need here. Let's head to where the Bellossom went, and that'll allow us to finish the area. So all we need to do now at this point is head up this way. If you don't have the Tyranitar yet, you can head left. That'll take you to the entryway where Tyranitar's room was. But we already got the Tyranitar, so we don't have to deal with that. Before we get this Bellossom, this is the rock we need to deal with Tyranitar with, because 4 Crush is needed. We could use the Probopass, yes, but I like Probopass more than I like Tyranitar because it has a nose and it's funny. So as much as I could use Tyranitar and have one following me around for the rest of the game, I just like Probopass. I don't know, Probopass has always been like a closet favorite Pokemon of mine. It's not my favorite Pokemon, but it's one of my favorites just because it's so weird and it's just so fun to use because it just can do silly things, and its special defense stat is stupidly high and it just tanks all the hits, and it's awesome. I don't know, Probopass is just... We need Mega Probopass. We need a Mega Probopass. That needs to be a thing. I want to see its gigantic nose just there. But anyway, Bellossom's here. Nothing too special. Just avoid its Razor Leafs and you'll be a-okay. So, we now have a hole here. And this is where I say the physics of this area gets really weird because, well, this hole, you'll see. Geronimo!